You are listening to Transreal News, the finest news, forecasts, and advisories for psychonauts traveling the astral plane and beyond. I'm your host, Toby Damned. And now, the news in brief. I am first obliged to read the following statement. Transreal News is no longer affiliated with the organization currently known as the Transreal News Network. TRNN will soon be rebranding itself as the Indigo Network. We are, and have been for a few weeks, an independent news source. Views expressed on this station do not reflect the views of the Indigo Network going forward. Klie, Maxwell, and I have returned from a planar voyage, where we discovered a total of 33 dead Earths, called the Clip-Off. These empty husks are what remains after the authorities lose control of a timeline. They end all life on the planet and start over on a new timeline created with the energy the mass extinction event they caused creates. We are not sure how they achieve it, but we are attempting to discover a means of learning. In at least one clip-off, we saw evidence that an event similar to the Aussies hive mind precipitated one of these mass extinction events and the creation of a clip-off. We also discovered that the authorities are only human beings. They are not gods, not super consciousnesses. They've been playing us for more than a century. First quietly, and then pretending to be our only hope after the psychic war. If you refuse to accept their right to tell you what to do, they will not have the power to act. Australia is lost. With 93% of its land mass covered in the jungle that is the body of the Aussies hive mind, the government of Australia has issued a general order to evacuate the country, and called upon allied navies to help remove its population to New Zealand and Polynesia. It also appears that the bulb that opened in Central Australia allowed the Aussies hive mind to release seeds into the upper atmosphere. Mutated plants are beginning to appear across Oceania, India, and the west coast of South America. Governments of countries dealing with the infestations have adopted a slash-and-burn policy for affected areas. I only hope that it is enough. And now, your time-space forecast with Walter Haversquirrel.
Thank you, Toby. It's good to have you back. Irreality is on the rise again, listeners. Returning to a global 0.5 wheel, with pockets of greater irreality occurring all over the world. You can expect the levels of strangeness you have become accustomed to before the superstorm to gradually return. The American Midwest and Canadian prairies will experience a rise in talking animals, especially devious marmots. Expect pranks and the creeping feeling like someone is laughing behind your back to rise. In Central Africa, termites given the power to feel remorse will attempt to recreate some of the more interesting structures they have devoured. But I would expect those to contain glaring inaccuracies, making them useless to archaeologists. And of course, on the Southern California coast, anything is possible right now while the Indigo children continue their march northward. Back to you, Toby.
And now, a commercial message from our partners.
I want training for a career that I can rely on to be there in 15 years. Today, that means working with the real and the strange. And there's only one college with a proven track record for providing top-quality education in alchemy, folklore, neurotic interfaces, interdimensional technology, and psychic resonation. And that's Miskatonic U. Come join me in making a career in the weirder future and study under the brightest minds to ever look into the void. Miskatonic U. Looking to the future, right past the corners of time.
And now Klie Maxwell with the latest advisories for psychonautic travelers.
Hello, my loves. I am so glad to be back. And I have 2 advisories for you today. First, while the Australian government might want to put you on a boat, if you need to get out of Australia in a hurry, consider interdimensional travel as a means of escape. I am personally publishing rituals for travel to safe upper planes on my blog, along with schematics for the easy-to-assemble Lizardo Bonsai Overthruster, which can be attached to a car to create a tunnel to the 8th dimension, letting you roll off of Earth in true Buckaroo style. Keep listening, loves, we will do our best to help you find a way to fight the reset.
You have been listening to Transreal News, your independent source for news, travel advisories, and forecasts for astral projectors, ethereal jaunters, time travelers, and people on serious LSD trips. From all of us to all of you, safe journeys. I was glad I could give you back your chair, Toby. I was surprised you didn't take a day to recover. Your journey must have been harrowing. I plan on taking some time off this summer, but I have to live that long first. Until then, there's no rest for the wicked. Aye, but now I have a question. Do you wish me to depart? I have no role left at Transreal News. I want you here for the same reason I wanted you as an anchor. We need someone who can stand and fight when the authorities come to shut us up. Aye, and after today, they will have a great burning need to do so. If you still want to be on the mic, I will come up with something for you. I gather you were considering a cooking show with TRNN? Do you have any other hidden hobbies or areas where you might be informative? Let me think on it. Great. You have a place here, Tor. If Yaren has forgiven you, so do I. Come then, Toby. Let us replenish you with barbecue and beer. We can brainstorm and appreciate Yuta's new chainmail bikini. The Transreal News was created, directed, written, and performed by Brian C. Rideout, and produced by Stormhead Productions, and is released under a Creative Commons by Attribution, Non-Commercial 4.0 license. This episode of Transreal News included music and sound effects from Pixabay. For show notes or contact information, visit trans-real.stormheadproductions.ca or visit me on Twitter at transrealpod. I love hearing from my audience. If you have comments, questions, or an idea for a news article, please by all means drop me a voicemail. Check out my homepage and look for the heading Tell Me What You Think in the sidebar. Then just hit record to tell me what's on your mind. Thank you so much for listening.